Hello, Dueling Network and everyone else on YouTube. Today I'm bringing you my, as you can see, Spellbook Prophecy deck profile. Now I've been using this deck for a little while now, and this is the current build I am happy with. So I'm just going to get right into the build and explain my choices. I'm also going to do a side extra which also, well, I know they need work. So first of all I have 2 Breaker the Magical Warrior. Basically he's a spellcaster, he can pop a back row and he can become 2/9 attack on Spellbook power. So this card is generally good in general. That makes lots of sense. 1 Chaos Sorcerer. I've been asked quite a few times, why do I use Chaos Sorcerer and not BLS, or why not just both? The reason I use Chaos Sorcerer is because he's a spellcaster, and that's pretty much the main reason. And as you can see from my general build, I'm not running too many lights, just 2 Effect Veiler and 3 High Priestess. So I don't really want to end up banishing cards or having them dead too often, so I've just got the 1 Chaos Sorcerer. Now I've got 2 Effect Veiler. In my opinion you need 2 at the moment because windups are still big. I'm not sure if they affect Atlanteans, Mermails, whatever the hell how they are that much. So yeah, I've still got the 2 in there. Now I've got 2 Hanged Man of Prophecy. He's actually called Stoic in England, so Stoic of Prophecy. So this card's generally, in my opinion, is generally good because you use it to add, normally it's Temperance, well that's what I add with my deck. So I've got 2 of him, 3 of that. And you can bring him out either by setting him first turn, which I like doing sometimes, or you bring him out with Grand Spellbook Tower when they decide to destroy it. So that's pretty simple. Now I'm using 3 High Priestess, simple boss monster. It's not as difficult to summon as I thought it would initially be. All you need is a Spellbook plus him and she's out, or you just have to have 3 in hand and she's out. It's pretty simple, but sometimes she can be dead in hand, so that's why I use the 1 Magical Dimension. Anyway, I made 1 Kaiku, simple graveyard hate, and it's also just a generally good card in general up against Chaos Dragons and stuff like that. It's also an 1800 attack spellcaster, so it can get past Thunder King under Spellbook of Power. So this is another generally good card which I include. Now, I use 3 Spellbook Magician. I've been told to cut him down to 2, but at the moment I'm liking 3, because you can either set him or summon him to get his effect. Plus, if you've already used his effect, you can tribute him off the dimension, which is really useful. Then I use 3 Temperance, pretty simple, bring out Temperance. I use 3 for 3. And my voice seems to be going, never good. I use 2 Tragodia. Putting it simply, Thunder King hate. If my opponent goes Thunder King and I have nothing to get past him, I'll just pass turn with like a Veiler in hand to stop anything, and then just drop Trag and then go for the beat over, or Dark Hole I could also use, and general other stuff like that. But Tragodia I feel is needed in this deck, because unless you're going all in, he's going to be live. Obviously Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, 1 Magical Dimension. For those that don't know what it does, it's not the most commonly played card. If you control a face-up spellcaster type monster, target 1 monster you control, tribute that target, then special summon a spellcaster type monster from your hand, and then destroy a monster on the field. So what I've done a couple of times, or you could do, summon him, set that, end turn, after you get your Surge, probably be for secrets or something like that. So they summon Thunder King to wreck you over, and then they set a couple, end their turn, you go in the end phase, Magical Dimension, tribute this, special summon this, destroying Thunder King. And Thunder King obviously can't negate because it's summoned by this, and it's quick play, so which makes it even more versatile. Very good card, but I don't want to end up with too many dead copies, so I'm only running the 1. 1 Monster Reborn, generally good card. 2 Potted Duality, improved consistency, getting spellbooks to hand. If you need to, you activate this, add a 3rd one, so next time you can summon High Priestess. 1 Spellbook of Eternity, seeing as how your Priestess likes to banish them from the grave, this helps return it, and then you use this and the field spell to return it back to your deck. 1 Spellbook of Life, it needs some pre-setting up, so you need a spellcaster in your grave, additionally to the one you want to reborn, and you need another spellbook in your hand, so that's why I'm only running the 1. But other than that, it's another Monster Reborn. And you can make some really crazy synchro plays with this. It's really weird. Well, not really weird, because the crit monster's level is increased by the monster that's banished. So what I've done is special summoning Effect Veiler by banishing him, so Effect Failure becomes level 3, then Synchro with Breaker bring up to level 7, like my good old friend Arcanite Magician, which is, in my opinion, it's a very good play, but that's down to you to decide. So, 2 Spellbook of Power. Putting it simply, 1000 extra attack. If it kills something, you get to search for another Spellbook. It's just a generally good card in my opinion. I've equipped it to Temperance, I've equipped it to Magician, to Breaker, to Kaiku, to Chaos Sorcerer, to High Priestess, and it's just generally good. And plus the additional to search for, I don't know, Secrets, Tower, Life, anything like that, it just makes it so good. Plus it means even Temperance can beat over Thunder King if they don't have any protection. Spellbook of Secrets. Easily one of the best cards in the deck. Putting it simply, here, have another Spellbook. And it has no restrictions, so even if you wanted to, you could add Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, but I don't normally recommend that, or wouldn't recommend that in the slightest. So you could add Eternity to add back a Power to your hand, or a Life to Reborn a Priestess. You could add a Power itself, you could add a Wisdom, which is, in all honesty, that's what I'd normally do, because Wisdom is good. So, now moving on to Wisdom. This card is pretty much a better form of, well, in my opinion, it's better than Forbidden Lance. But that you can't use Lance, well, you can use Lance to get past things like Thunder King. So, they're both good, but I prefer this one, because, what's that, a Light Imprisoning Mirror or a Skill Drain? Fine. Activate this on High Priestess effect, pop, get rid of Skill Drain, explode, or whatever. They try to bottomless your High Priestess or deprison it, Spellbook of Wisdom it. Even better. It's just, this card I've used so many times, and my sister who plays gadgets with smashes and fishes and everything, she just hates the fact I keep reusing this card. And give me a second, I need to go let my brother in, who's really annoying. Yes, you did. Moving on, Grand Spellbook Tower. This card is simply awesome. Hi, James.
I don't know how bad that is.
What, Spellbook Tower?
Yeah, freaking annoying.
Yeah.
That
Once per turn during your standby phase, if you've got a Spellbook card in your grave and a Spellcaster in your field or grave, putting it simply, put a Spellbook card to the bottom of your deck and get an additional draw.
That's why that card is ridiculous.
Hey, have 2 draws per turn. Always fair.
As long as they don't bring Night Magician Faith, it's not too overpowered.
Okay, then I've got 2 bottomless trap holes for my defensive traps. Well, I like using 42 cards, so I've got 6 traps. And yes, no Solemns. I don't like Solemns in this deck. So I've got 2 bottomless, 2 compulse. This card is awesome in the deck. And last but not least, oh bugger. Sorry about that. New laptop, trying to still get used to it. And last but not least, 2 D-Prisons. Moving on to the side deck, I will probably be changing this around. But I've got, in here at the moment, I've got 2 Fossil Diner for my Wind Up and 6 Samurai matchups, which are at my locals. 3 Gemini Imps, because this deck gets wrecked by Dark Worlds in my opinion. 2 Max C, probably going to take these out, not really siding them at all anymore. 2 Secret Village, this card says, haha, no heroes and no Dark Worlds. Because they need their spells to win, and if without them, they lose. That's why this card's good.
Not my bunny hero.
Shut up, James. I have 2 Chain Disappearance for agent matchups. Get rid of their Shine Balls, stops their Gatchis, Dark Mist, whatever. 2 Rivalry of Warlords, because all my monsters are spellcasters, except Tragodia, so I just side them out. So each player can only control 1 type of monster, so that would be wind-up matchups, obviously. And also and loads of other sorts. And last one needs 2 Royal Decrees for stupid gay-ass matchups. Chain Burn, Countdown, Exodia. Ugh.
The list goes on.
Decks that shouldn't exist. Then I've got 1 Catasta, obviously. 1 Decisive Armor, because I could put it in there. 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon. 1 Arcanite Magician. 1 Black Rose. Flamboyant Kreesos and Gaia Knight. 1 Magical Android. Random Mistworm. Scrap. And Stardust Dragon. Then for my XYZs, I've got 1 Hierophant, 1 Maze Stroke, 1 Big Eye, and a Zen Maze. I think I've made this once, and that once. And I think I made these each once as well, but that's pretty much it. And I made some random synchros when I was abusing Spellbook of Life, but that doesn't matter. So I hope you enjoyed this really random deck look at. This is the build I'm actually happy with, so I'm building this deck in real life. Yes, that does exist. So it's really expensive though, which is really annoying. But all I need now are the 2 High Priestess. Or 2 High Priestess and it's
eBay's
done.
nice.
They don't have them on eBay at the moment in England.
I know.
It's so sad. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and goodbye. How do I stop this thing?